efforts, helping the company, one of the largest BPOs globally, optimize its hiring process. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's welcome Marvin!
Because I know for sure we're getting more and more people involved in the transformation of how we do things in recruitment. And the most important thing kasi when we adapt to new technologies is we have to get as many users as we can. Why? Because if we don't, then the technology doesn't have any edge. Okay, it doesn't get traction, right? So if the talent market or the labor market is not doing anything about digital stuff and all, then we won't be needing the technology. But seeing today, we have over maybe close to 200 people. I think we're getting into the next age of recruitment. So I'm here, my name is Marvin. I've been with Alorica for, this is my 9th year. But I've been with Max since, 2016. Funny thing is I started meeting him in my previous job, and then when I moved to Alorica, that's when we closed the deal and then started the pilot. So, and the rest is history. So I'm gonna talk to you something about, maybe a few slides about how we can be excited in developing our teams and transitioning them into using AI. So yeah, that's me. So what is AI in recruitment? Mind you, I'm just gonna talk about our insights, so my experience, and as well as things that might stir some thoughts into your processes. So the slides here are it's just my background, so I just want to click stuff. But oh, it's very funny stuff there. Okay, pa-share naman. So if you talk about AI, there are several AIs. There's the traditional AI, and for some of you who are not able to understand what AI is, there's also, you've heard about generative AI, right, earlier. And generative AI is a more advanced type of AI. So your traditional AI are the ones that you fix, no? You may flow, may workflow, and all of the basic stuff that we deal with, right? The generative AI now is a little bit more scary. These are the ones that requires a lot more resources. It requires a lot more intelligence. So our recruiters, our team members will keep teaching the AI that we use today until it becomes perfect. But the generative AI also works on different platforms. So if you're familiar with ChatGPT, yes, of course, you've used it once or maybe twice in your lives. As a recruiter, yes, dapat, at this point you should have. There's different forms of ChatGPTs, di ba? May 4.0, but did you know that it also has a, how should I say it? It has evolved into a more human-like behavior. Like, it doesn't just scour the internet and give you a response. It is now emulating how a human being would respond to you. So that is a version, I'm not sure if it's available commercially, but that is a form of ChatGPT. Me, because we use Microsoft, ang best friend ko si Copilot. If you have used Copilot, it also works in the same space, no? AI din siya. And for some of you who are familiar with Copilot, it's just a small icon, little icon in your browser. Click on it, it generates stuff, no? You also need to learn how to use prompts. If you have used ChatGPT, you have to make sure you use a proper prompt so that the response that you get is almost close to what you need. Now, these are two diagrams, very familiar, very similar, and the only difference is the other one is done by a human person and the other one is done by an AI. So 65% of recruiters say AI has transformed their hiring process. Are you one of the 65%? We'll find out. Here are some of the technologies that you have seen, heard, and touched and used today. So at Alorica, we have definitely used the chatbots. So TalkPush is one of the first, actually they're the only vendor that we used. You would see them in our Facebook Messenger. And they also power the careers page of the Philippines. And among all regions in Alorica, and I'm proud to say, that when you go to the careers webpage, the chatbot there says Ava, right? But Ava actually is TalkPush chatbot. So there are several forms of Ava in our webpage. The Ava, there's the one that's developed internally by Alorica, which is developed by our internal team. And then the ones for the Philippines, that's powered by TalkPush. And the reason behind that is for us to be able to funnel all the leads into one dashboard. Hindi kalat-kalat. Okay? So chatbots, definitely. So when the pandemic came, we saw that there is value in the technology that we invested. The transactions that happened in 2020 was like 10 times over. So, sobrang dami. And we were ready and we were happy. And thanks to Max and his team for introducing this. Resume screening tools, filtering, ranking resumes. You've seen it earlier, diba? There's a 100% match, 98% match. I've seen some of the new technologies, not just TalkPush, right? But they're quite, I would say, super adept in analyzing the resumes that you screen. So basically, I remember when I first started, at that time, buhay pa si Converges. Ngayon is Concentrix na, diba? So when I enter, I go to work at 7:30 in the morning. I go to the lobby, get a stack of resumes. Unahan kasi walang leads eh. Hindi pa uso si Facebook. So, sorry, ganun ako katanda, but yeah. So I get, unahan kami, stacks of resumes. And then, you know, we have to look at the resumes and call them one by one, see if they're really a fit. Pang non-agent pa to, pang agent pa to. But, you know, with AI, it's just a matter of a click of a button. And then the third one would be predictive analytics. No, predictive analytics is something that's maybe one of my favorites. So gone are the days where your assessments are just giving you one score. And what's that? So basically, what we do today, our assessment tool gives us an idea whether the candidate is a fit for a tech or a financial care and telco. Nako, ito yung mga trigger words natin. Telecommunications hiring is so hard, right? So they have a different job family. Imagine that. So when we go through the assessments, we throw it back to our people analytics team, and then the metrics of the top performers, the middle performers, we give it back to the analytics team, and then that way, the data will talk to each other and tell us which ones are the right profile. Diba amazing, no? Predictive analytics, but it will not, you know, it will not tell us, it will only guide us which ones are potentially going to perform. No, it's not gonna take over your decision-making skills, guys. So you're still the recruiters, you still own the best chat GPT in the world, which is your brain. Okay, how do we boost talent sourcing productivity? So, eto na. I mentioned this earlier. Basically, scanning resumes is such a burden. For me, it's a routinary job. It's nakakaantok. Plus, you know, naubos mo na yung kape mo, hindi ka pa tapos mag-screen ng resumes. And sometimes, it's so hard to read resumes because they have different formats. Diba? Some of them have nice photos, some of them have no photos. Some of them have missing phone numbers. So it's so hard. And then imagine the time that you spend instead of calling and talking to a person, you screen papers. But with AI, of course, it's just a matter of time. A click of a button. And then here's the matching score we talked about. You've seen it earlier. We're not going to spend so much time here. But basically, one of the things that I saw in one of the vendors that we talked to, kasi si TalkPush, they have TalkScore, and then the other vendors also have other stuff. And I'm not gonna mention them kasi sobrang dami, and sometimes we don't remember them. But learning about the technology today the job matching, or sorry, the candidate matching really just achieves one thing: non-biased selection process. And it gives you better understanding of the candidate. And and I saw this with Sam. Sam AI, when we had a demo pilot. So we asked our teams in different regions to talk to Sam. And then there are a set of questions and they answer it. Purposely, one of our leaders in the US responded off tangently in a question, simple question like, what is like a like how detail oriented are you? Can you cite an example where you exercised your keen to detail? So sinagot niya, and then the job is for a recruiter role. And what the manager did was he said, I work with Walmart. I arrange the labels so that the customers can see the labels there. So that's how detailed I am. And you know what Sam said? Sam gave us a report simply saying the candidate responded to a question that is not related to recruitment. How amazing, diba? But it also said that the person is able to manifest detail-oriented or keen to detail skill, but is not in any way related to interviewing. So if Sam can do that, what else can Sam do, right? So, kulang na lang. Palitan tayo. Pero I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe in oops. Another one is, we talked about this, but these are some of the results that we got. And in terms of, after we did the benchmark, when we did the predictive analytics in hiring efforts, I think this was in 2022, we noticed that over a 90-day period, and so we're recruiters, right? You have scorecards. Your scorecards, you're responsible up to 90 days. Some of us maybe have longer responsibility, right? In your scorecard, tama ba? You have retention, 90-day retention. Yes, that's part of my scorecard. That's quality. So we noticed there's a 14% improvement. And that's a good thing, right? It may not translate to an outright ROI kasi after 90 days, marami pang mangyayari. There's a lot of more things happening after 90 days, right? So your training period even go as far as 12 weeks. So after 90 days, we at least can see that the efforts that we did in doing a predictive analytics hiring using AI and how it translates to, at the end of the day, it's not going to translate to more hiring for us, no backfilling and all that. Data-backed hiring decisions, basically it's going back to the example where you don't have to spend a lot of time screening all the leads, right? But when you have data-backed hiring decisions, you don't force-fit candidates into roles that they won't succeed. Diba? How amazing is that? Because if you're a job seeker and you need a job today, you don't care if you're placed in a sales program. You don't care if you're placed in a financial program because you need the job. But as recruiters, ethically, we want to be able to give them the job where they will be successful on, right? So later on, how will AI transform our roles and our work as recruiters tomorrow, right? So basically, you're not just going to be interviewing candidates, you're probably going to be more of a consultative recruiter, right? As mentioned by Ms. Flo earlier, we should be sales recruiters, no? We're selling the company, but at the same time, familiar terms again, it's like consultative selling or consultative hiring, right? So adapting to AI, so basically, you have to look at, for me, these are three things. You need to look at the recruiters today, your team members today, your phone screeners, your sourcers. What level of skill are they in today? Now, there's a lot of opportunity, like in Alorica, we have seen a lot of team members who have been in the phone screening work for quite some time, but they're just scared to move and take the next step. Like, we know that they have the potential to become better recruiters, right? So we have to look at that. We need to upskill them, give them the opportunity to learn, and adapt to new changes. There are several training programs that are available. Earlier, you've heard about a training program offered by TalkPush. Let's take advantage of that. And not just TalkPush, there's Coursive, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn even. There are training, free training modules that you can take advantage of. Now the thing about our teams, our TA, our talent acquisition teams, our recruitment teams, you are all super busy chasing fill rates, targets. Do you have the time to still study, upskill yourselves? I don't think we do. And then on weekends, we just want to rest, unwind, and meet with friends. But with this day and age, if you don't spend time in learning new stuff, new things, you will be left behind. So right now in Alorica, we're actually kind of prepping the team because when we introduce new technologies, people are scared. Am I gonna lose my job? Am I gonna be part of the reduction efforts, no? So, syempre, they're already here with us. We need to take good care of them. But at the same time, we need to make them excited of the change. So start transitioning some of your processes, even small ones, like for example, downloading of leads, having leads go into your applicant tracking system. If you don't have that, if you're still in the golden age of Microsoft Excel, let's move on, okay? So make them excited, do a little bit of automation on a daily basis, some processes, right? Teach them, and then, eventually they will want more because once they use it, they'll be excited about it, right? It's all about change management. AI integration with existing systems, of course, there's your applicant tracking system, there's AI in between, and then there's your CRM. So there are things that we looked at Alorica, like for example, HubSpot is actually very, very, I think, similar to how TalkPush does and do leads management, diba? See, TalkPush was able to, they have the functions of assigning leads to recruiters, putting dispositions, moving them into different steps in the process. HubSpot is being used in one of our regions in Latin America. They use it for leads management. So it's essentially the same, but if you look at it on the bigger scheme of things, it's just a matter of choosing the right platform for you, okay? And sometimes it's just a matter of choosing the right people to work with. Like how responsive are your vendors with you, right? May reklamo ko today, kailangan ma-resolve. So it really boils down about on those small things, right? It shouldn't be a gamble hiring. It shouldn't be a gamble. AI helps you to be smart. Now, what are the next steps? So we talked about generative AI earlier. I showed you, well, basically you can Google this in your cell phones, but it basically gives you a faster way of doing things, right? So I looked at this new vendor last week. We met with another one Friday night. So they did a demo. So again, we talked about prompts, right? So it's like ChatGPT for recruiters in steroids. So imagine that. You put the job, you upload the job description, and then you put some skills, right? And then you click enter, and they scour the open web. And sorry, JobStreet, but your platform is super secure. They were unable to do that. They were only able to get profiles that are in the web, and I think there's also data that they own. So in a way, they're giving you access to all other profiles that you may not have found in any normal normal, traditional ways. So it's essentially a talent, Google talent, parang ganun siya. So I saw that, and it's very interesting to see how that spans out in the near future, because now it's in production, but I think we're not yet there in deciding whether to subscribe to it or not. We're being offered to do a pilot run, which we will do in probably the next 2 weeks. AI-driven video interviews, you've seen that. Sam is able to do that. Sam also has her own avatar. And we've seen another one that's also generative AI. So I don't know if you guys are in the same page with us. You know how graphics team or the social media graphics team does and takes time to give you back the artwork that you requested? Kunyari, nag-request kayo, can we request for an artwork for a, let's say, a team leader, for a Java developer, and in Instagram format. And then it takes a while before it goes back to you. With generative AI, in a click of a button, it will create even a hypothetical model, like a person that does not exist. That's how crazy this technology is today. So it creates job ads that are for Instagram. It can even create reels, guys. Di ko alam kung ano eh. The AI is so powerful. Pero it creates reels. A person, you'll notice it's an AI because the lips doesn't quite match the words. So that's how really interesting it is. You can choose whether an Asian female, an Asian Korean guy, K-pop looking. Pwede mong gawin yun. So you can actually do that. And then sourcing social media and online profiles, and that's we talked about earlier. And then, let me see the next slide. There. So, talking about our careers in recruitment is going to change a little bit. And I was able to allude it a little earlier today. So, we need to kind of prepare ourselves in the next 5 years. Because the amount of exponential growth that the technology happens today is super fast, guys. It's super fast. I don't even know where I'm gonna be next 5 years, but I've been with the BPO industry for 22 years, and I'm still here, and hopefully it's not gonna mess things up in the next 5 years. So let's update ourselves, no? Let's adapt. Let's make sure we learn new things. From a traditional recruiter interviewing, are you 18 years old? Are you high school graduates? Are you amenable to working night shifts? So gone are those days. Now is the time to ask those serious questions and ask the person again, what are you looking for in an employer? Di ba? Ang sarap nun kasi if you're gonna have a conversation with another person that's not transactional, it's really nice, right? It's tiring. Like I'm a little bit introvert. Actually, I'm introvert. My social battery is really low now. But eventually you become talent advisors, diba? So these are the type of work that you will be doing in the next 5 years. We need to move to the next level. If you're not going or making any steps today to this direction, you better start doing that because technology happens overnight. In a blink of an eye. It's gonna change. It's going to be different. So that's why we keep challenging ourselves. Now, I think our conversations with recruitment operations is more about quality applicants. It's not about how many applicants are you gonna expect tomorrow? How many walk-ins are you expecting tomorrow? 300 or 200 ka pa lang. So hindi ganon. It's not going to be like that anymore. We're not going to do shotgun approach. We're not going to do volume and hit them like crazy. Mapapagod yung recruiters natin. So we're now moving into a space where, okay, are they really a serious applicant? Do they really fit your profile? Do they speak English? Do they have the necessary skills? So another battle that we're trying to win is the conversation where operations wants call center experienced candidates. They want them. ready, rolling and running, plug and play. But guess what? They also bring about, a higher attrition. We forget that there are good Filipinos too that graduates every year, right? So right now, our mix in Alorica is 33% fresh grad, 33% from other industries, and around 35% shifters or call center experience candidates. Well, it's not by design, it's by accident, kasi hindi kami maka-attract ng call center experience candidates eh. But, we've done some changes already, but at the same time, the battle is still going on kasi more clients are requiring experienced candidates. And it's not gonna be a long-term solution, right? And I hope you agree with me. And let's all think of the future. Key takeaways, 3 things. AI will enhance your productivity. You'll get better use of your time. Human oversight remains essential. And I will second the statement of Ms. Flo because she said we will still need humans in recruitment. Nothing beats the human heart and the human brain. Investing in AI training is critical because at the end of the day, if you don't prepare your team, you will be left behind. So, and thanks for the Talk Push team for putting this together because this is a recruitment hackers event. What happens here, what is discussed here is for you to take home and implement in your own ways. And then, let me see. This is the last slide. So, what part of the process do you think you are ready with AI? Who will actually put us to the next level? And then you just have to embrace it, have fun with it, and thank you and hope to see you around when we do the cocktails. Thank you.
Thank you so much.